We have some really depressing news to discuss coming from the Associated Press. They say, quote, a survey conducted after the Obama administration admitted that U.S. drone strikes on al-qaeda compounds killed an American and an Italian hostage earlier this year found that the majority of Americans still support the controversial practice. Of those polled, 6 in 10 backed the missile strikes, and the numbers held across parties. 60% of Democrats and 72% of Republicans said they supported using drones. Independent voters showed the lowest amount of support, with only 42% saying they agreed with using drones for this end. Only 13% opposed drone use. Get this, almost 75% even approve of using drones to kill a U.S. citizen who's joined a foreign terrorist organization. 75% of the American people said, yeah, go right ahead. Kill an American citizen with a drone without due process of law. You can kill Americans with drones without a trial. 75% of Americans. Now, understand, guys, I expect this kind of stupidity from Republicans. I do. I've been in the game long enough, and I've been following politics long enough and media long enough where I get it. They're going to be on the dumber side of every issue. But the Democrats, and let's face it, you and I both know if it was still a Republican president in office, if it was George W. Bush and Dick Cheney in office, or President Marco Rubio or Chris Christie or Paul Ryan, if it was one of them in office and they were killing American citizens with drones without due process of law, without a trial, the Democrats would flip on this and they'd be like, oh, unconstitutional assholes. But when it's Obama, they're like, I like him and I trust his judgment, so like, yeah, he can skirt the Constitution. No problem whatsoever. Come on, man, this is just embarrassing. This is embarrassing. So understand, the reason why this is so egregious and so ridiculous is that the whole purpose of the Constitution is that some things are not a debatable issue. That's the whole purpose of the Constitution. That's like, if somebody were to come up to you and say, I don't like those words that you just used. Let's ban them. And they were to try to ban whatever, words you commonly use when you're calling somebody an asshole, whatever creative terminology you use. They're not allowed to do that. They can't do that because we have this thing called freedom of speech. If you're protesting over something that you think is an injustice, they can't say you don't have a right to protest because it's in the fucking First Amendment. You do have a right to protest. We have a free press in this country, according to the Constitution, so nobody can come in here and shut me down because of the content of what I'm saying. So these are things that are not debatable. Well, killing American citizens with drones without a trial is not debatable. The Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the Due Process Clause, states the following, quote, nor shall any person be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. I'll repeat, nor shall any person be deprived of life. They can't take away your life if you're an American citizen without due process of law. But President Obama, the Republicans and the Democrats and the establishment and the American people, except for independents who are right on this, they're like, I don't see the problem. 75% say, yeah, kill American citizens, no trial whatsoever. How about your Sixth Amendment rights? Well, that's the right to a fair trial. So I'll read you the entire amendment. Sit tight here. It's about goddamn time somebody did this in response to this debate about drone strikes. Quote, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. We're talking about American citizens who have these rights under the Constitution. And the government's like, yeah, no, but we're going to take them away right now because it's just inconvenient to abide by that. Well, too fucking bad. I mean, look, again, so why wouldn't we now say, well, we didn't do a trial for the alleged al-Qaeda people, so why not do a trial for this guy who we think is a serial killer, right? I mean, there's been so many media reports on the guy. We kind of already know he's guilty, so why go through the whole process? It's messy, and it's habeas corpus, due process. It takes time and effort. Fuck that. It takes money to spend. The state's got to get the case right. Forget all that. Just fucking kill him. Why not? We're already killing the American citizens overseas. So what? This guy happens to be in Nebraska. Just fucking kill him. Who cares? Do you not see where this ends? And people are saying, come on, Kyle, that's a little ridiculous. You're going over the top here. Is it ridiculous? We have an 8th Amendment in the United States Constitution that bans cruel and unusual punishment. But we had a George W. Bush neoconservative administration that could look at the 8th Amendment and go, I think this allows for rectal rape, rectal feeding, waterboarding, sleep deprivation, hypothermia torture, threats of raping family members, and various other versions of torture. So if we live in a country where an administration could look at a ban, torture is illegal in the United States. They could look at a ban on torture and go, I think this allows for torture. Why wouldn't we have a president that says, well, yeah, due process, except in cases of all these cases I just fucking laid out right now?